good morning, 6th grader. How are you today? My name is teacher Paula Grajales, and today we are going to talk about the digestive system. We are going to identify the parts of the digestive system, also describe the function of the parts of the digestive system. So let's start. The digestive system is the group of organs that break down the food into substances that the body can use to get energy to complete internal and external functions. For example, when you play, you need energy. When you breathe, when you grow up, when you walk, when you run. Where do you get the energy? Do you remember? We were talking about food in the last class. You get the nutrients from the food, and the nutrients are absorbed through the digestive system. And this is what we are going to study about today. So let's practice and labeling the parts of the digestive system. Do you remember what is the name of this part? This is the mouth, and this is the place where digestion begins. Then we have the esophagus or digestive tract. We have this sac-like organ that is the stomach. We also have the liver, and immediately next to the liver we have the pancreas. And remember, the pancreas is the organ that segregates enzymes that are necessary in the digestive process. Then we have small intestines and large intestines. And at the end of the digestive system, we have the rectum and the anus. So these are the parts of the digestive system. Let's try to remember the most important things from the last class. The process of digestion begins where? In the mouth. Okay? When you put the food into your mouth and you start chewing your mouth and mix with saliva, is when you start the process of digestion. Next one. The food goes to your stomach through the esophagus. What is another name for esophagus? The digestive tract. Okay? Continue. A sac-like organ where the food is stored. What is this organ? This is the stomach. Yes. Do you know? It's like 8 hours that you have the food in your stomach after you eat. This is the time that takes the stomach with the food inside, mixing the food with the different liquids you have in there, okay? So organs that segregate special fluids and enzymes that help the process of digestion. Do you remember what are these organs? The liver and the pancreas. Excellent. Nutrients are absorbed in what part of the digestive system? In the small intestine. Perfect. And at last we have, they carry the wastes outside of the body. Okay, the large intestine, then it goes to the rectum, and at the end is the anus. Perfect. Thank you so much for your help in this practice. So let's start explaining the digestion process. What is the step number 1? The food is ground up by the teeth and mixed with saliva in the mouth until it becomes a food bolus or semi-solid mass of food. Okay, this time I invite you to look at the next pictures. In the picture number 1, we are able to see how the boy put the food into the mouth, start chewing the food and mix with saliva. There is an organ in the mouth that helps to push the to push the food into your esophagus. Do you remember the name of this organ? Yes, it's the tongue. The tongue is very helpful in the digestion process. Okay, next you see the salivary glands. Look at the picture. In yellow color, you are able to see the salivary glands both sides of the face that produce, 1.5 liters of saliva daily. Can you imagine that? So you drink plenty water, okay? And in green color, we have the food bolus. The food bolus, remember, is the food, but this time is mixed with saliva, and remember, after you chewing your food, it becomes a food bolus. Good. Step number 2. The food goes to the stomach through the esophagus. Let's see the picture. Do you see the movement? Whenever you swallow, you have internal involuntary movement in your different organs that help in the process. Look at the way it works. This is the esophagus. Wonderful. Step number 3, we have in the stomach the food bolus is mixed with a special substance called gastric juice. So let's see what is this. The food bolus is in color green. Remember, the food bolus is like a mass of food that is formed after you chew your food and mix with saliva. Once it goes into your esophagus, it goes directly to your stomach, the sac-like organ, okay, and stay there for 8 hours. There are special liquids, look at this picture, which are the gastric juice. So the gastric juice is also able to kill bacteria that are in your stomach. Okay, continue with the number 4. The food goes to the small intestine where nutrients are absorbed. Okay, look. Immediately after the stomach, we have the small intestine. It's in the small intestine where nutrients are absorbed. After that, the circulatory system is going to take the nutrients through your blood, and then it's going to give it to your different organs. It's an amazing machine, our body. Okay, look at the difference between the two different kind of intestines we have in our body. The large is the big one, and the small is the thinner, the one that you see here in the circle. Okay, immediately after the food is in your stomach, goes directly to your small intestine. Very good. In the number 5, at the end of the process, the waste is eliminated through the large intestine, the rectum, and the anus. Let's see this. Okay, look. This is your large intestine. And this picture is clearly showing you how the waste travels through the large intestine through a special involuntary movement. You don't never feel it. They are working inside of you. So once they reach the rectum, it goes outside of your body because your body does not need the waste through the anus. And this is when the digestion process ends. Very good. You only keep the nutrients to survive, to work, to study, to play, because you need the energy from the nutrients. How do you get the nutrients? Remember, from the food. Okay, so could you please help me? What are the 5 steps of digestion? They are all in total disorder, and I need that you please let me know what is number 1, number 2, number 3, until we complete the 5 different steps. Let's see. Oh, do you think it's the number 1? The alimentary bolus goes to the stomach. Through the esophagus? I don't think this is the first one. The food is mixed with saliva, with the digestive juice in the stomach? No, still, no. The food is ground up by the teeth and mixed with saliva in the mouth? Yes, number 1 is the first step. Remember, digestion begins in your mouth. Okay, next, after You ground up the food and mix with saliva. It becomes an alimentary bolus and goes to the stomach through the esophagus. Once in the esophagus, the food is mixed with the digestive juice in the stomach. Okay, what happened after? We have two circles. The food goes to the small intestine where nutrients are absorbed, or do you think that it's time for the waste is eliminated? Yes. Number 4, the food goes to the small intestine where nutrients are absorbed. And at the end, the waste is eliminated through the large intestine, rectum, and anus. Thank you so much for your help. I do appreciate it. Excellent, good. So let's keep reviewing. I have some questions for you. Please let me know what is the correct answer. Just in the middle we have tongue, mouth, small intestine, and stomach. Let's try number 1. Where does digestion begins? Very good, in the mouth. What is the organ that moves the food to the esophagus? Remember, I mentioned that part. We have tongue, small intestine, and stomach. What is the organ in your mouth that helps to push the food into the esophagus? Your tongue. Excellent. Where is the food stored for 8 hours? In your stomach, in the sac-like organ, remember? And at the end, where does most of the digestion process occurs? In the small intestine. Very good. You are now prepared to speak about the digestive system. And we have a special guest today, Xavier Espinosa from San Miguel Arcángel Bilingual School. Thank you so much, Xavier, for your participation. So let's listen to Xavier.
Hello, good morning, teacher Paula. My name is Xavier Espinosa, and I am in 6th grade in San Miguel Arcángel College in Capira. Today I have an interesting topic, the digestive system. The digestive system is a group of organs that can help our body to take energy, vitamins, and minerals. These processes are divided in a stage. The first stage is the chewing, when we chew our food and breaks up into a little piece. The second stage is the swallowing. This is the process as your tongue helps to push back the food to your throat. The next stage is the stomach. Food hangs out in the stomach for around 4 hours. While food sits there, more enzymes go to work on it, breaking down things like proteins that our body can use. Now, the small intestine. The first part of the small intestine works with juices from the liver and the pancreas to continue breaking down our food. The last stage of the digestive system is the large intestine. Any food as the body doesn't need or can use ascends to the large intestine and later leaves the body as waste. The liver and the pancreas help to the digestive system. The parts of the digestive system are the mouth, the salivary glands, the esophagus, the liver, the stomach, the gallbladder, the pancreas, the appendix, the small intestine, the large intestine, the rectum, and the anus. Thank you. Goodbye.
Wonderful, Xavier. Thank you so much for your participation, and thank you so much to Maislin Gonzalez de Torres, who is the teacher in charge. Thank you so much for your participation. Remember, the complete process of digestion takes 24 hours, but keeping the food into your stomach is 8 hours, okay? Let's continue, guys. Let's talk about pronouns. We have in pronouns first person, second person, and third person. Remember, we were talking about pronouns that the third person has a special case when you are writing sentence in simple present tense. It's very important that you add specific suffixes. For example, es, 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 or ies, depending at the end of the verb. Let's try the first one. Most verbs take s in the third person singular. For example, work, works, dance, dances, read, reads, speak, speaks. Digestion begins in the mouth. This is our sentence. Verbs ending in s, sh, ch, x. You have to add es. For example, kiss, kisses, wash, washes, watch, watches, fix, fixes. Our sentence, saliva mixes with the food in the mouth. Verbs ending in a consonant plus y, drop the y and take ies, as for example, study, studies. Cry, cries, fly, flies, copy, copies. Our sentence, the large intestine carries the wastes outside of the body. Verbs ending in a vowel plus y, you have to write s at the end. Play become plays, say becomes says, enjoy enjoys, obey obeys. Our sentence, Mary enjoys her new balanced diet. Excellent. The next coming practice, please take a picture or take a capture about the image of the practice and practice. Remember, when you have a verb ending in es, you have an provide and store. Let me know the next week. Okay. And time for creation, you can also take a picture about this work. Remember, you don't need too much material to make your creations. You have a straw, you have a balloon, or you have different kinds and colors of walls to create your own digestive system. Okay, it's time for me to say, keep practicing. Remember, don't forget your vocabulary, do your art craft. Remember, dear student, if you want to take care of yourself from COVID-19, what you must do, you must wash your hands, wear a face mask, keep your distance, sanitize your hands. I can't let you go without saying thank you so much to Mrs. Daira Creighton. She is our academic coordinator, National Directorate of Foreign Language, and a special thanks to our sponsor who make it possible. Thank you, and I see you next week. Bye-bye.
Aprende en casa a través de la televisión. Porque me educa presentó Conéctate con la Estrella.